Please give a warm welcome to Nelson Mattos. Nelson Mattos.
Thank you. Thank you. Can we switch to the computer? Excellent. So good morning, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. And thank you, Maran, for the nice presentation. I have been to Jordan a few times before. Actually, in the last 3 years, I have been here 4 or 5 times. And I'm actually quite aware of the investment that the government has been making in this country, and in particular the infrastructure side, making really Jordan a role model for the region. Also, I feel that Jordan is quite special because it's one of the few countries that think about the whole region and not necessarily about Jordan specifically. And every time I come here, I meet with entrepreneurs and business owners that are actually bringing technology not only to the Jordanian market, but at Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Egypt, all of North Africa, the US, and Europe. And this is really, really great. And this is exactly the environment that we like to see. In the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to be giving you an overview of what Google is doing in the region that we call MENA, North Africa, and the Middle East. It's a very important region for us, and I actually want to start with exactly that topic. Many of you may be thinking, well, why suddenly Google is interested on the Middle East and North Africa? And it's not sudden. As I mentioned, I have been here several times in the last few years. Google has a presence already in a couple of countries in the region. We have had several activities in Jordan, particularly with universities. And it is a very important region for us. It is in particular a very important region because it has a very large population, about 350 million people. It is a region that you can actually use growth as a synonym. Northeast Africa and the Middle East has the highest growth of internet users in the world today, and it has been like that in the last 5 years. However, only about 20% of the population today are actually online, and it's really great to hear initiatives like the one from the government to actually bring connectivity to everyone. So the opportunity here is quite significant. Also, is a very young population. The majority of the people in this region are below 14 years old. Obviously, this is a challenge, but this is also a very good opportunity because usually is the young generation that tends to adopt new technologies quite fast, and they are the ones that are actually going to be transforming the country in the future. So very actually important region from that perspective as well. So very, very exciting to see the transformations and the speed of adoption of technology in this region. However, we have to admit there is still a lot of challenges in the region. Some of these challenges are, I would say, specific to North Africa and the Middle East. Other challenges have a lot to do with the language and the existence of content that actually imposes challenges to us as an internet company. So I would like to quickly go through some of those challenges because it is very important for you to understand why are we looking so broadly at this region beyond what we usually do in other places of the world. In most other places, as you know, Google brings its products to the end users of the products that are come to you free of charge, search, Gmail, Maps, etc. And then we work with advertisers to monetize and help them grow their business. Here in the region, we are actually doing a lot more than that, particularly with things like these types of events. So let's go through those challenges very quickly. The first challenge, which I think is something that all of you can help us with, is the lack of Arabic local content that is relevant to all of you. About 5% of the world's population speak Arabic. Slightly less than 2% of the internet content is actually in Arabic. Obviously, has a lot to do with the fact that this population has started to come online later than everyone else. And obviously, this will catch up at some point, but obviously, the faster we can catch up, the better. Also, another challenge related to the type of content is the fact that most of the content that exists in the region is in the form of forums. And forums are unstructured, very difficult for a search engine to recognize out of this unstructured, low-quality content what is really relevant to a user. If you are searching on Google, how do I actually find potentially content that is somehow hidden in this unstructured forum? So both there is the challenge of lack of content and the challenge of where a lot of the existing content is stored. That obviously something for all of us to address, address on the search engine side, and you to help us in terms of creation of content. As Marwan was saying, price in general across the region is still a problem, both in terms of the affordability of devices in the region is quite expensive, as well as the affordability of connectivity, broadband, as well as even data plans on mobile devices or data plans for your dongles. Particularly critical if you compare with the rest of the world. Also, there is a very large usage of tier 2 devices. Although, as you can see, it's slowly moving into smartphones. And obviously, as we know, feature phone devices does not give the same experience, web experience that you will find on the desktop of the smartphones. The next challenge is forms of payments. This is a region that there is not, credit cards are not heavily used. Banking systems are also not heavily used, which makes which creates a problem, a challenge for us to develop the online commerce business, which has been one of the major drivers of the development of the internet. So if you look at that in mind, obviously, we as an internet company are not going to be successful here, and we're not going to make the internet successful in this region if we ignore all these problems and simply focus on bringing our products. Bringing our products to the region are very important, but we need to go beyond that. And with that in mind, here is what we're actually trying to accomplish and do in the whole region. Actually, 3 things. The first one is making the internet relevant to everyone. I know I don't need to explain what the internet is to all of you and what is the value and what you can do online, but to the majority of the population in this country, as well as in the region, they still don't understand what the internet is. They don't know what an email system is. They don't know that they can go in front of a search engine and find almost any information that is available in the world. And it's bringing products to the region that will actually help that. The second is what I call the area of sustainability. We are not going to be successful alone, so we want to enable you, entrepreneurs, developers, IT professionals, so that they jointly with us can continue to further develop the internet. And third is, which is a major focus of today's event, is bringing you technology, not necessarily products, but technology, most of which available on open source, so that you can actually continue to develop new services and new applications in enhancing the user experience of the users of the region and of the world in the internet. So let me go through each one of these areas. First of all, in the area of relevance, there are 4 things that we're actually doing here. The first one, trying to address the area of lack of existing content. Obviously, dealing with tools and translation tools. So one of the things that we have done very early on was extending Google Translate to support Arabic. If you actually use that technology in the context of Chrome, as you know, you can actually automatically be translating websites in any language of the world, almost any language of the world, automatically as you navigate, as you browse through the internet, and translate it automatically in your language, and obviously vice versa. That immediately brings the content of any language that is available in the world actually to you, and in the same sense, anything that you create and bring online in Arabic will be available to everyone else. Also, other types of tools like transliteration, diachromization so that you can actually deal with Arabic as you are typing your English keyboard. We have also been working with other organizations like Wikipedia to bring Arabic content online, creating Arabic-specific articles in your native language into the online world. So the second, it's probably also one of the largest areas of investment for us, is bringing our global products to the region and adapting them as we bring here. And one of the easiest adoptions is obviously making it available in Arabic. So Chrome being a good example as something that we made it available in your language actually on day one as we launched the product. But we have gone beyond that, bringing actually Chrome extensions that are appropriate to your region, like in this case, prayer times, where you can actually find as a native extension within Chrome. Also working with other companies, and I'm quite proud of this, so that they create Chrome extensions. This is made in Jordan, that allows you to see basically selected quotes as a nice extension and fully integrated in Chrome. And if those of you that are interested in developing additional extensions, you can actually hear more about that throughout the day. Obviously, autocomplete, a very important feature that is available not only on search, but in most of our products, also native in Arabic, making recommendations or trying to complete as you are typing the search into trying to guess what you are actually looking for to speed up the process. Arabic news edition, so that you actually can get local information directly to you through Google News. Obviously, Gmail in Arabic, this has also been available for a while, fully localized. But in addition to that, we have recently brought, right now available in the Palestine only, in the Middle East, an extension to Gmail and chat that allows you to basically communicate with people via SMS. So if you are a Gmail user, you want to send an instant message to one of your Gmail colleagues and the person happens not to be connected, you can deliver that chat message via SMS. They will get it on their mobile, and in the same sense, they can reply back to you using an SMS interface. This is obviously very important given the popularity of SMS messages in the region and also the wide use of mobile devices. And we are in the process actually of delivering this in other countries in the region. So stay tuned on that one. We have also brought Google Maps to the region and recently also launched driving directions as well as obviously walking directions. And you have here an example of that in Amman. And if you are users of Google Maps, you can actually try that yourself. In addition to that, we have been focusing quite heavily on the products that Google has that enables the creation of local content and encourage the creation of local content. Obviously, the first one is easy to know is YouTube, encouraging Arabic content to come online, encouraging content owners to create their own YouTube channels and bring that content online so that it's available not only to all of you, but also to other viewers in the world. Don't underestimate this. There is a lot of misperception about this region. And the more you can bring videos and information online that is suddenly accessible and can be viewed by any person in the world, right? It's a major way for you to actually make people understand what this region is actually all about. Map Maker, obviously we have map in the region, but there is many ways for us to improve maps. Bringing points of interests and other important features that are available in maps. And we actually have just recently launched Map Maker in Jordan. And we are going to be working with communities so that they can actually help increase the content of maps as well as the quality of those maps. Again, with the goal of increasing the quality and the amount of online content. That is obviously makes it possible for other people to start taking advantage of these services. And with a Maps API, then business owners as well as anybody that is creating a website can embed maps within their own website, taking advantage of that technology. Again, increasing the quality as well as the quantity of online. If once you have maps, you can also start listing businesses on Google Maps. And again, encouraging businesses to be visible online, easy for other customers to find their location. With Google Places, they can have more detailed information about the business, the location, the address, the phone number, but also if you click on those places, you'll be able to see a description. What is the services that they offer? And any information that actually is relevant to that. For those that actually have no online presence, they can use Google Sites that is available in Arabic to create new websites, basically free of charge. And there are templates that people can use so that any small entrepreneur can easily get that actually done. And here you have an example of very popular, if you look for tours, the Bedouin tours in Petra, in fact, the first search result coming out of the region is actually a website that is hosted in Google Sites. So obviously we're quite happy to see that that is really enabling additional content to be created. As we move into next year, we're going to have a specific initiative that we launched this year in Africa and was in sub-Saharan Africa and was very successful, and we're going to be bringing it to the Middle East, which is an effort, an initiative to bring small businesses online, handhold them in the creation of a website, hosting it in Google Sites, teaching them how to monitor the usage of that website, create an ecosystem of IT professionals that can actually help them, and with that, they will have the ability to reach a much larger customer base. And obviously, that will start opening their eyes to the value of having an online presence. And once people have an online presence, if they have interest in reaching out to even a higher number of users, they can obviously do that with our ads products, which have been available for quite a while in this region. And the last thing that we are doing in the area of relevance related to products is developing new products that are specific to the region. And I have two examples of those. One is Ejabat, which is an Arabic question and answer product. I don't know, who of you are users of Ejabat? That's a very small number. Okay, so I give you guys all a to-do. Throughout the day, you guys have connectivity. I want you all to go and look at this. Ejabat is a product in which you can post questions, and the community of users actually will answer that question for you. Not only has the value of giving you the answer to the question that you have, but most important, that content remains online, gets indexed by the Google Index search machine, and then will slowly appear in search results. And what we have seen already here in North Africa and the Middle East, about between 5 and 7% of all results in the very first page of Google search are coming from Ejabat. So it gives us an indication that the product is helping create content that is highly relevant to you, because we do know that the quality of our ranking mechanism in search is very, very, very good. So the more all of you can be creating these questions and answering those questions, the more relevant content will get created and will be available to all of you and anybody in the world that is actually issuing searches in Google. And the last product I want to mention, we have just recently also launched an initiative with Wikipedia to bring health-specific content to the web, actually in 3 languages, not only available here, it's also going to be available in Swahili for African users and in Hindi for India. Okay, so that's the area of relevance. In the second area, in terms of sustainability, it's really not about us, it's all about you. It is, first of all, training the broad users base about what is the internet. What is the value of the internet? What can you do online? What is a search engine? What is an email system? Right? Really, really basic things that obviously you don't need to know. And we are doing this with things that are quite appealing to the young population. So you can look at this, and hopefully we will be able to broad educating the population about that. Second, obviously at a more technical level, organizing outreach activities with the technical community. So GJordan, a very good example, training students, training developers, training business owners, IT professionals about the latest technology, the Google products and its API, so that you can actually take advantage of that to create other types of services, as well as open source, so that you can continue to create new ideas for the internet. We also organize, in addition to big events like those, smaller training sessions throughout the day that go very deep into a specific area or into a specific product. And we'll be bringing those to Jordan as well. Obviously, also foster development training with small competitions. We have also started to expose what happens inside of Google. And we have recently launched a video, it's available to you to watch, about what our Arabic engineers are doing inside of Google. What do they work on? What is their life? What are some of the things that they find exciting about working, bringing our products to the Arabic world? And this is actually Mardini, our product manager, and he should be here today talking about his work. We also have a series of initiatives with universities in terms of providing research grants, research awards, scholarships to students, internships. We have a faculty summit once a year where we invite professors to come, where we share some of the latest developments that Google is doing, as well as share with them interesting research topics that we think are quite promising, and encourage them actually to work on those. And so that's basically the second area, dealing with developers, IT professionals, and business users. The third area, it's really for us bringing open source technology to all of you so that you can continue to develop the internet and improving the overall user experience. I'm going to only talk about three pieces of technology here. The first one, the browsers, and particularly HTML5. The second one, cloud computing and mobile. And in a minute, you're going to understand exactly why. And if you look at this picture, you will probably notice a lot of logos of applications that are very well known worldwide. And I want you to pay attention to what has happened around 2004. And can anyone tell me what is the difference between the applications on the right versus the applications on the left? Only if you haven't been in one of our previous events before. Yes? I'm sorry? Exactly. So
you get a mark for this. Well done.
Exactly. So until about 2004, all application development, all popular applications were developed with the desktop in mind, right? And you could actually say that Skype was probably the last extremely popular application that actually was developed with a desktop architecture in mind. Starting around 2004, most of the popular applications have been developed and created using the web as the development platform. And obviously, with that, it has raised the importance of the browser because all these applications are running actually on the browser. This has started with Ajax, and particularly with applications like Gmail and Google Maps that suddenly showed to the world what was possible to do with Ajax in the browser, creating an opportunity and a motivation for a lot of our applications to be developed. So, unfortunately, when the browsers came out, and even as recent as 2-3 years ago, the reality is that a lot of the capabilities that you had on the desktop, being able to deal with video and audio, being able to access the local file system, being able to take advantage of the hardware architecture, the hardware capabilities of the machine that you were running on, and so on and so forth, being able to deal with being disconnected to the web, were things that were not very that you could not possibly do running your application on the browser. This was the main goal for the development of HTML5. And if you look at where HTML5 was about 18 months ago, in terms of support for audio and video native on the browser, support for been able to deal with at the pixel level as you are developing an applications, 3G, and so on and so forth, you could see that a lot of these capabilities were simply not there, which made quite difficult for you to be able to develop highly sophisticated applications on the browser. But let's look at what happened in the last 18 months as this has developed. And today, pretty much all of these capabilities of HTML5 have pretty much become available in all the browsers. Even my dear friends from Microsoft has started to deliver some of these capabilities with Internet Explorer version 9. So now you do have, regardless of the browser that you are using, this set of capabilities allowing you to redevelop highly sophisticated applications on the browser directly. One of the capabilities I want to highlight is WebM, which, as you probably know, is basically a consortium that is creating capabilities for 3D and making it available on the open source, and Google is part of that. We have several other partners, and what is quite interesting about this is the fact that particularly the hardware vendors are really excited about this technology and are very, very keen in bringing into market support for it in the market very quickly. So you should be able to see things coming in this space very, very quickly. HTML5 is also important for the development of mobile devices. In all smartphones that you have today, iPhone and Android, etc., actually use that capabilities embedded into those devices. And that's obviously what has made possible for you to have very nice applications on these mobile devices. So clearly the first thing is you have browsers that are very powerful today and allow you to create sophisticated applications as much as you have on the desktop, and you have the same capabilities becoming available in some mobile devices. So this is the platform of the future for you to be developing. Obviously, as more and more applications are starting to be developed on the browser or on the mobile device, now you have a challenge and an opportunity at the same time. A challenge because you're going to need processing power to run that application. And this has been a major motivation for the development and availability of cloud computing, where you can deploy these applications on somebody's data center and deal with the logic and the implementation and design of the application on the browser. And there has been many offerings that came to the market, obviously Google App Engine being one of them. Amazon has a similar offer. And the goodie is now you can actually focus on building your application and allowing us, or Amazon, or whoever is running that data center to take care of backup and recovery, scalability, load balancing, managing the workload of the applications across multiprocessors, dealing with software upgrades and inconsistencies that exist between the different pieces of software and so on and so forth. So you can actually really focus on the innovative piece of it, which is the development of the application. And now I'm going to do a little bit of marketing here. We are absolutely thrilled with the adoption of App Engine. We have now thousands of websites, businesses, that are actually fully maintained by and running by our App Engine. We have about 90,000 developers that have developed App Engine solutions worldwide, and every week we have 5.5 billion page views being served out of App Engine from our data centers in support of 130,000 applications. So if you are not an App Engine user and you are interested, you're going to hear a lot more in this event. So please take advantage of that. Obviously, the development of the App Engine is not stopping here. There are many things that we continue to enhance. Those of you that follow it closely knows that we launched support for namespaces in August. This was a roadmap that I learned over the weekend that is now outdated. We just announced support for some of these features last week. So that gives you a sense we have a significant amount of people developing and working on enabling distribution of computing, additional security, ability for you to have APIs that allow you to interact in real time with the end user that is dealing with your application on the browser, and so on and so forth. A lot of people, when we talk about cloud computing, ask questions about what about application and data portability. Remember that your application is running on the browser, taking advantage of HTML5. And as you saw, given the fact that all of the key capacities and features of HTML5 are available in most browsers, that guarantees the portability of your application. In terms of data, obviously you need to watch that the provider of your cloud computing offers allows the data to be imported and exported easily. Right? Within Google, we have an effort called data liberation that basically encourages and requires all of our products to have an API that allows you to easily take the data out or bring the data into the product. Just like if you are a Gmail user and you want to remove and export all your contacts and all the data that is stored in Gmail, you have an easy interface to do this so that you could actually upload that data into another system. So that's actually quite important. But in particularly, on the application portability side, you are now fully dependent on the browser, which has nothing to do with what's running on the data center. I want to wrap up with mobile, because if you think that the world has been changing very rapidly because of the developers on the browser, then you haven't seen anything yet with what we are seeing on the mobile space. And let me illustrate that point with a chart. This shows a period of 5 years, 20 quarters, and the growth of different products in our world. The purple line is AOL, and as you know, when it came out many years ago, I see some very young faces here, so they may not remember AOL, but all of us that have at least one white hair remember this very well. This was the revolution of the internet, and within 5 years, AOL acquired about 5 million users, and actually grew and became basically the phenomenon of the internet. Soon after that, Docomo iMode deliver their offers in Japan and actually reach about 40 million users in about the same period of time. Netscape came also a major phenomenon, and actually in the same 5-year period reach about 50 million users. Apple delivered the iPhone and the iPad, and in 4.5 years, they reached 200 million users, right? So the development of what we know today to be the drivers of the establishment of the internet look like peanuts compared to what we are seeing in the mobile space. So you will see significant changes in this space in the years to come, and in particularly, technologies like the browser, HTML5, and obviously cloud computing, because these applications running on your mobile are not natively running on this little device, are going to become quite important. I'm pretty sure you are asking about Android, and this is the Android picture. We are still about 7 quarters, almost 2 years now. We are proud to be slightly ahead of our friends from Apple, but obviously we still have a long way to go. So let me share a little bit more detail with you. This gives you a sense of the number of daily activations of Android in the world. We went from about 55,000 daily activations to about 200, and I love how these numbers change. And as I was giving this talk in Cairo last Friday, Andy Rubin, who runs the Android, who's the vice president responsible for Android in Google, tweeted that we are actually now activating 300,000 new devices every single day worldwide. So every single day, 300,000 new phones worldwide are activating Android. So you can do the math. Multiply this by 360 days of the year, and you have a sense of what that means. Again, I don't know the apps. He hasn't given us the latest number, but you can see also phenomenal growth in terms of applications with over 100,000 applications available and running on Android. So I know I cannot finish my talk without touching on the subject of support, Arabic support on Android. As you do know, Google does not pre-announce any products. So I'm not here to announce anything related to Arabic, but I do hope that with what I told you here, with what you are seeing in this event, with the over 30 different Googlers that have come from all corners of the world to run and support and train you throughout the day, gives you a sense of the level of commitment that we have to the region. So my ask to you is stay patient with us. But do stay tuned. We have not forgotten the Arabic support in Android. So just hold on a little bit longer. And with that, I'm actually going to wrap up. So again, what is Google trying to do here in the region? Focusing on three things. Trying to make the internet relevant to everyone. With that, trying to address the issues of content, bringing products that are appealing to the region, which requires us to change and adapt, create new interfaces to some of our products, as well as develop products that are specific to the needs of all of you. Second, focusing heavily on the ecosystem, right? On the students, on the professors, on the developers, on the entrepreneurs, the IT professionals, that together with us will actually make the internet a very, very vibrant and very solid in the region. And last, bring technologies that you can use to develop new solutions, new services, and with that, enrich the overall user experience. And I hope you have a very great day. I'm going to be here around throughout the day today. And if you have any questions, please look for any one of the Googlers. They have the T-shirt that Sebastian was wearing at the beginning. And I want to finish with one request. Even though I have come to your country 4 or 5 times in the last 3 years. Many of our other Googlers have been here as well. We don't claim to know your country better than you do. It's the first time we are organizing an event of this level, and it's the first time that we are really trying massively to create some awareness and training. So I do want to hear your feedback. It's extremely important to us, right, that you tell us what are we missing. What are some of the key things that are necessary to develop the internet? What are some of the technologies that you would like to know more about, right? In the same sense, if you think that we are doing things that are just a waste of time because they are already developed or on the way in your region, please let us know as well. So I do want to make sure that this event is a two-way dialogue, that you are learning from us as well as we are learning from all of you. This is my biggest request to all of you. And with that, I'm going to finish, and I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you.